Was Ahsoka Tano a necessary character? And the short answer is no, and of course that will make a lot of people angry because they love Ahsoka Tano, but remember how everyone just hated Ahsoka Tano when she first appeared in the Clone Wars movie? Like, they absolutely hated her. But my point is, I do respect the character of Ahsoka Tano a lot, but I think that she is being overused and has been around for too long. So, first and foremost, is she necessary? Not exactly, because in terms of the 6 movies, or should I say 9 movies, she's not relevant at all. Never even mentioned. Of course, her voice appears in The Rise of Skywalker, but so she's not entirely relevant. And even without her, Anakin Skywalker turned to the dark side. That just makes sense, and that just happened anyway. So doesn't really change much. Now, she's a nice addition and a nice plot device to advance the story arc that they want to tell in the Clone Wars, so she fits well with the story over there. However, her dying in the Clone Wars would have fit well with Anakin's turn to the dark side. And even, as I said, she could have died in Star Wars Rebels. She could have died there. She could have been killed by Darth Vader, or maybe captured and lived a little longer, but still died in Star Wars Rebels to cement Darth Vader, him being very dark. And also, and her living past Return of the Jedi, her living into the Mandalorian times, like, that's just ridiculous at this point. Like, what are you doing? Why is this character still being kept around? Like, her usefulness as a character, I think, sure, it could bleed into Star Wars Rebels, and I was fine with that, but it should have ended right there. It should have ended right there, because her story arc is related to Anakin Skywalker's story arc, Darth Vader's story arc. So it should have ended with him. Her story arc should have ended with him. It really shouldn't have gone on further. And it's because the writers, they have a massive fascination and an idolization complex of Ahsoka Tano that they just have to keep her around in every story. So yes, I mean, it is what it is. It's their choice and they can do what they want. But no, Ahsoka Tano should not have stayed around that long. Also, you do have to keep in mind of a few things. Is Ahsoka Tano, and I know there's an Ahsoka Tano series coming up, but if she's still alive at the end of Rise of Skywalker, if so, will she help Rey? If she is, then I guess she will help Rey. But the point is, with Ahsoka Tano, I'm willing to assume that she probably died in the 30 years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I'm going to assume that she died at some point during that time, and that's why we hear her voice in The Rise of Skywalker, because she's not around anymore. So those are my 2 cents on Ahsoka Tano, and honestly, the character has been around too long. Even though I respect the character and I do like the character, I do think ultimately the character has outlived her purpose, and there needs to be a wrap-up at some point soon, and it would have been perfect to do that in Rebels.